you by Let's Car 2 Group Pty Limited. In today's video about the coronavirus situation in South Africa, I will be talking about three factors which increases the active case count for the coronavirus in South Africa. First up is the social factors. We all know it is mandatory to wear a mask which covers your mouth and your nose, and to sanitize your hands with an antiviral solution. An antibacterial solution will be ineffective against the coronavirus. It's also a good idea to sanitize the handles of your shopping cart as well as the perimeter around it, as you will be in contact with it as you commence your shopping. The second factor is the changes in season. In Germany, as Germany approached its winter season, the active cases increased substantially. A hard lockdown was imposed, and that resulted in the active cases decreasing. A lockdown level was reduced, and the active cases increased again as the temperature started to warm up and as Germany approached its springtime season. That was followed by another lockdown, which saw the active cases drop substantially. The same can be said about South Africa. The increases in active cases occurred over winter and over the middle of summer, and we are currently experiencing an increase in active cases as we approach the winter season. It must be said that I am not entirely convinced that we are in a third wave, as this appears to be mostly seasonal driven data. However, when one looks at the active cases versus testing in South Africa, the amount of active cases from the end of April has increased. However, the testing, even though it has increased, has remained at very low levels. Not only low levels, but also irregular testing patterns. If government wants to catch up with the amount of active cases, it has to more than double the tests that it is currently conducting. The situation with all the results of that would be that more active cases will most likely be found, which means that the current amount of 52,000 cases will increase substantially. Have you ever asked yourself whether frontline workers are being tested on a regular basis? The answer is probably not. When one looks at the low levels of testing, it means that your cashiers in a store and minibus taxi drivers, the police and healthcare workers are not being tested on a regular basis. Money is one of the most contaminated items you can find, and minibus taxi drivers and cashiers at a store are people that are in constant contact with it. The vaccination rollout figure produced by government of 1.1 million is, I believe, incorrect. The problem lies with the Pfizer vaccine rollout, where it states that 637,000 people have been vaccinated. Now, the Pfizer vaccine requires 2 doses, which means that the actual vaccination amount is actually 479,768. Once the people that have received the second dose of Pfizer vaccines are vaccinated, that will boost the number to well over 1 million. And as a data analyst, you have to put that into a graph of some sort, which means that out of a population of 60 million, 479,768 people have been vaccinated, and that's an ultra low amount. So where to now for South Africa? Well, in one of my previous videos I spoke about an asymmetrical coronavirus lockdown, which means that some parts of the country or some parts of the province can be locked down to get the hotspots under control. That means that the rest of the country can still function at a lower level and still grow the economy in the way that it should be. Locking down the entire country to the same lockdown level is akin to serving a 20-year jail sentence just because your next door neighbor robbed a bank. If government doesn't increase its vaccination rollout substantially, as well as its testing rates and testing frequency rate, it means that we will be in and out of lockdowns for the foreseeable future. Had government maintained a higher level of testing after the second wave of coronavirus dissipated, it means that the range-bound activity we saw from March up until the beginning of April could have and would have and should have been much higher, as there would have been an X amount of people that have had the coronavirus but have not displayed any symptoms at all, which means they have the potential to infect other people. And that's it for today, folks. If you found my video of any interest, please like and subscribe, and I will continue to make videos about the coronavirus situation in South Africa as the days and weeks commences. Till next time, people, take care.